keep forgetting to spend some time reading. Still, I have this sitting next to me. I've only read a few issues. I'm gonna read a few more issues today. As real quick, wanted to touch on just, not anything detailed, but yeah, just the reminder that so much storytelling has some sort of, can touch on ethics and have little morals or little ideas, just, you can call it cheesy or whatever, but so many of these writers and creators of different things have little things just being like, hey, sort of be nice to one another and stuff, or like, be loving of all sorts of people. And yeah, I don't know I haven't gone through all these things, but I know X-Men especially touched on things a lot of the time, just can bring up the issues of certain falling into being brainwashed into certain beliefs, or just, and it's on multiple sides of things, just different aspects of this and everything. But yeah, this has been a thing for a lot of things, for so long. I mean, even like going back to myths and religions and that, like, it's always been sort of an idea of people to be like, well, I think that this makes sense or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, and it brings me to also speak about people always being like, oh, people don't care about your politics, just stick to writing stories, or stick to making movies, or stick to acting, portraying characters, or stick to playing music. It's like, maybe not politics, just like as a whole, or just like something very specific or whatever, but there just happen to be certain messages, certain themes that align with not even politics, just being a human rights advocate, or being like, hey, yeah, like, life is short and people deserve to feel okay and have the freedom to do what makes them them and everything. It's very strange. Like, I've literally seen stuff like this, just being like, it's like, oh, my favorite game is Final Fantasy VII, but don't talk about, don't be preachy or whatever. It's like, all these things, are you kidding me? Like, different things. It's very interesting, and it's fine if you can sort of extract just what you like from things, just like, oh, like, I just like this because it's a badass game with cool characters and everything, but like, this has been a thing forever, and I think it's cool, and I like to see, I don't have to only have a specific echo chamber of like, you like exactly what I like. But yeah, you've got to be the base level respectful person, And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who vote certain ways and everything that, if they're not bigots, they're cool with people being bigots. And a lot of times it is a celebration of bigotry and everything. So yeah, like, I do like to find out when some of the people that inspire me end up being just nice people that want people to be happy. That's really as complex as it needs to get. Not really, but like, as it needs to begin, I guess. Yeah, it's nice when people talk about specific issues that all sorts of places all over the world deal with. But yeah, I just don't get that one. Oh, don't share these messages and things. We don't want to hear about this. And it's just a place of privilege. If you like have these things that are natural, it's very lucky if you have these things about you that just naturally make it so you don't have to deal with issues like that. But you should care about people different from you. Yeah, there's that sort of tweet or whatever it was. It's like, yeah, that's a good point. It's like, oh, it shouldn't have to happen to you for it to matter to you. And very scary, unfortunately, it's getting to apply to a lot of people and be like, well, oh, not that I feel that bad for people that wanted others to have their freedoms taken from them, and now they're having their freedoms taken from them, or they were like, like, oh, we want to deport everybody, but it's like, now they're deporting people like you and everything that did nothing wrong. It's just like it's just a weird enforcing of like ridiculous thing. You can just like make something up, and yeah, it's a scary time, and I hope that people wake up and start to see, like, we need to, you're getting, a lesson in morality from this, like, learning that we're all connected and that it shouldn't have to happen to you for it to matter to you. But, like, yeah, that's just who I am. I personally like to have little messages in all sorts of storytelling that give a wake-up call to, us all being connected, and just the fact that you should care about people having wellness and the ability to live free, like true freedom, not the privilege of freedom for your type of person, but freedom for all sorts of good people that are doing nothing wrong. Well, you could argue that certain things in your specific, made up version of your beliefs and everything, that, oh, they're actually doing something wrong because they were born this way. And once again, a little pride message. Being trans, being gay, it's not a choice. I'm sure some people find it more of like a, hey, I kind of like this, so I'm gonna do this, but really no, like, overall. And that should be the end of that debate, I see that all the time, and all people talking about things be like, oh, just be this, just be this. I'll just remind people, yeah, so does that mean you're choosing to be straight? Does that mean that you're admitting that it's not a choice? If well, I have these thoughts, but I'm choosing to be straight. It's like, so that's not how it is for everyone. But you see what I'm saying? Or like, oh, you should just choose to be a regular man or whatever. It's like, that's not how it works for the vast majority of people. So, and that's not even positivity. That's just like, yeah, that should be just where you begin, just the little, where you start off for this June, pride and everything. Just, yeah, why would you say it's a terrible thing for someone to be who they were made as, if you believe in that sort of thing? And if you don't, then, yeah, it really shouldn't be a problem. Then why do you have rules about these things? Oh, it just creeps me out. Weird, dude. Yeah, everybody deserves to live free and have a good time, and before even just having a good time, just not having a terrible time and not having trauma from all the people, isolating them, shunning them, and everything. Important messages. Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit of this, and I know it's epic, and so many of these stories have been told, and, they had some of these big stories, and we'll see what else they do with the Marvel stuff. I haven't been a huge fan of all of it, and it is, disturbing now that it's like, it's just sort of like Disney doing everything. It's just this giant, things have changed, and it's sort of dark. But still, I'll appreciate, I'm not saying it's impossible for it to all be or for it to have any respect to the original stories, or for it to, the right people. It's a huge crew of people doing all of these things. So, the right people get hired, and the right people really are passionate and care about these stories being told in an honest way, or, a way that makes sense for how things have been. Yeah, it's, so I'm actually looking forward to that when they do more X-Men stuff, and I hope that there's a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, this always been like my favorite. I like all the big stuff, and I like some of the lesser known stuff too. But I haven't read a ton of comics. But it's just a very pleasant thing. It feels so different. I love novels, and it's more difficult for me. Again, I don't know about specific diagnoses. I have a wide range of different things that I deal with, but one of the things is hyperactivity, and also reading a novel. I can read, and I have a decent vocabulary and everything, but I also, so often, I'll have to read a few pages over and over again. I literally, it's like I'm reading it all, but I'm having other thoughts at the same time. And so I'm zoning out, like thinking about multiple things at once. And it's like, whoa, what did I just read? You know, it's very interesting. I just read all of that, and I was going with like reading everything, but like I didn't soak it all in. It's not always like that, but yeah, the last book I read in full was Stephen King's It, which is a very long book, and it was super interesting, super weird, and it's definitely some trigger warnings, some very unsettling things. I kind of like that about it though. Like I've always felt that kinship. It's like the Losers Club and everything in the old 1990 miniseries. Yeah, just the combination. It's like there is this being that is, you know, horrific things, but it's also based on real life difficult things. And that's another thing brought to Pride Month. You know, Stephen King telling that, basing the beginning of the book on a real life story of people assaulting a gay couple. Super fucked up stuff. They touch on, I mean, there's racism. That's a perfect example, actually. I didn't even mean to bring to that, but that was the last novel I read, and there's a lot of stuff like that. And there's even internalized homophobia, where like the main human brat in the movie has gay fantasies and stuff, and he does stuff with his friend, and then like I think he like beats him up because he felt bad about being gay or whatever. Like really dark stuff, but yeah, important messages. It's a long video. I wasn't expecting to, but yeah, I want to get around to more of this. I have 5 of the omnibus and everything, and I want to get more of this. I love how the art looks from the 90s too, like mid 90s and stuff, like where it starts to get, they really, I love, like, this stuff looks beautiful, and in this format, oh my god, like, it really, it's nice and colorful, but it's also a more, like, simplified, I mean, beautiful drawings, and obviously the storytelling is, like, people regard it as, like, second to none. Some of the stuff, unless you don't like comics, then you'll be like, oh, what is this? But, like, you know, everybody likes different things. I mean, it's kind of, it's not the most complex stuff, but it will touch on big, again, morals and everything. A lot of it is just trippy, nerdy stuff. Sort of, some of it is a little more complex, like certain themes from like the original series of Star Trek, which I need to get more into. I was surprised when I watched like the first, I don't know, like 10 episodes, and I was like, okay, some of these concepts are super geeky, super fucking cool. Like, I don't even remember exactly, but there were some things where it's like, you're in this dimension and this happens, and like, really, like early on, they started getting out these good ideas, and I really want to get more into that. And that's another one that has these morals of just, yeah, like, I don't know the details, but I've seen things talking about it, and I've seen clips and everything, just, you know, oh, this is what we think is illogical, especially like Spock and stuff just talking about. Yeah, that combination, it's like, well, not only is this like, you know, a series of things that go together that make something like just work well for people or aliens, but it's like, it's also the right thing to do, and it's, you know, different things, just people being really smart, because realizing that we're all connected in that, yeah, this cheesy stuff, this sentimentality, and these things that connect us all and bridge different varying traits and varying beliefs and everything. Like, there are ways to do things that it makes sense to give a fuck about people different from you and everything, right? But yeah, I need to watch more of that too. I actually want to get the DVD series. Yeah, somebody I'm a fan of that I watch, like I was asking about that, because apparently later on they put in a whole bunch of CGI stuff that, like, it's just jarring to go from like all this grainy, like old, like cheesy stuff, and then like, oh, here's this fucking like crazy spaceship and CGI or whatever. It's like, yeah, I do want to get the DVD set that allows you to watch unaltered original. I also want to, I've heard of the Star Wars, what do they call it, like the de-specialized or whatever. You can, people make like 4K or Blu-ray or whatever with, you know, because if you get the real stuff, now it's like they've automatically brought it up to the special edition stuff where they added in the CGI panning over this area and this creature made in CGI, added in some other things. Not that it's the end of the world, but a lot of people do, like, you know. And then they even changed little parts of the story and stuff. But yeah, excited to read more of this, excited to see what